Welcome back to Railroads Online. I am Rever, and it's been a few days since we actually hauled anything towards our 200 barrels of oil, but we are back. We have our train that's so long it goes into yonder trees. I don't know if it, yeah, I guess it is behind those trees, isn't it? Look at that. Pretty impressive, our train here. Just wanted to point out how we were making out at the sawmill. We have 53 beams, so the problem we have now is back to where we were in the last episode where we were getting rid of lumber. Now this time we could get some lumber down to the oil field. We'll have to see how this goes, and we actually have to be a little bit sensible about what we do. This train has 18 cars times 3, which is 54, which the reason we have this is because it matches up nicely with the train if we get 6 cars of 9 pipes, steel pipes. So that will be a nice amount to bring to the oil field, which is our mission for today. However, the problem is we can only drop off about 20 of these, so really 18. And that means that we have to drop off 2 of the steel pipes for every 2 of these that we drop, or sorry, for every 6 of these that we drop off. So we've kind of got to work that out before we have too many issues. But in any event, I wanted to show you how we were making out of here. We got plenty of lumber with our lumber train. I emptied 1 car, and that is pretty close to full. I think it's got like 98 in there. So our next issue is if we want to go get more beams, we're going to be 1 short. So let's see what we have to do. Now the other thing to say is that I already have like 22 lumber down at the refinery, which is the other place that we would use it. So now we could, and that's about it, really. Like it's the only other thing is the iron mine, but for the iron mine we need beams and lumber, so it doesn't doesn't help us balance it out at all. So in any event, let's hop in here. See, I just threw some wood in, so good, we're in good shape. Actually, let me fill this up with 2 more pieces, just because why not? And our water looks plenty fine. Let's go back a step at least, and I didn't put on any brakes, but we are downhill, so I shouldn't have any problems with having just come back into the server. Let's go see how we make out with our new thing. So those of you who don't watch the new the train track repair, Revers Railroads Online Rail Repair. There we go. You can see we redid this whole thing where we come in this way. Well, we can come in either way, but we go by it, and then we spin around and come back out this way. And I made all new markers for this, so I should be able to refill up relatively quickly. It's quite a while to get all this nicely laid out. If you see these markers down there, we should be in pretty good shape. I mean, this track is much improved. This is going to be the only new part of the trip, so I may cut it out after we get past our new thing and see how smooth it goes, and then get down to the ironworks. And the reason that I want to go to the ironworks is because we need to get the steel pipes from there, and I want to see how many of those steel pipe trains, or I'm sorry, how many flat cars that we have down there, and what we want to do as far as making this a train that we can actually drop off at the oil field, right? So our next stop, if we had put cars on here, the tier 1 flat cars, we could have done like 2 and then 6, 2 and then 6. But that wasn't where we were at the time. And I'm not sure that we would want to drag those cars back up here every time. Like, is this the train run that we make? Do we have things so good that we could put another set of 6 on here? Does that make any sense? So many questions that I have. So we can speed this up a little bit, I think. So this is the turn that was causing us a problem earlier when we went off to sell the lumber. And I did come out here and flip my switches before I started recording, so we should be pretty good as far as that goes as well. Looking down, well, we'll just have to see. Well, we'll talk about it when we get down to the ironworks. I do wish I could open the map at least while it was in the train. I don't want to get out because then it jams on the brakes, right? So it's sort of, we'll see. They don't seem too interested in making any improvements. I did get a comment from somebody who listens to the Discord more than I do, and they said that they're going to, they're just working on getting all the bugs out of the game, which I can respect. So as far as getting improvements, like can we, I don't understand why we can't throw firewood in here or get out of this without the brake going on. Especially as they get the bugs fixed. And I think maybe the problem is going from, you know, like being locked into the cab versus, you know, getting thrown out. I bet you can get thrown out the back is my bet. Yeah, well, we made it through there fine. It's a little bit of a sharper, snaky turn there than I would like coming out of there. But again, you're coming out of a yard, so you shouldn't be doing it 700 miles an hour. That's my opinion. A lot of switching in here, and we still don't have a place for firewood. So in all of this, I didn't really allow for that. I'm thinking of maybe putting one right here. The cordwood train would miss it, but the cordwood could fill up. We have this fancy place up there. The cordwood could fill up. So, you know, right here would be maybe a good place to catch trains coming by. The problem would be that if you're in the sawmill, you wouldn't be able to get it going back out. But then maybe, you know, we could figure out that anytime you go to the sawmill, yeah, you're going up to the lumber camp, so you could be running back and forth to the lumber camp, the iron mine. Yeah, so you could end up with a lot of stuff. Anyway, that's not our mission for today, so we'll have to figure out a good place for our firewood thing. Let's ramp this thing up, and I will see you when I get down to the iron mine. Now that I've gotten all the way down here, I'm pretty close. I'm betting you money I have some brakes on. Because I'm going 55 and I haven't sped up that much. But I was sitting here daydreaming so much that about what I'm going to do when I get down here that I kind of didn't do much of anything. Let's turn that down. I'm not. Hopefully you guys can hear me there. I forgot how loud it was. So I have turned it down a good amount. So let's see. It might not be the brakes. It might just they are changing things, and then you know you do become very sensitive to your percentages here, so if they just make even slight tweaks to a train. I'm not too worried about all of this, but I want to see, let's see how we make out. What I want to do is I want to go all the way around, turn around, come back out. And then I was thinking about, I want to back in to one of these slots here. Now we need to make sure the slot is long enough to receive at least a good portion of this train, because I would like to build a consist in here. Right, I'd like to see what we have. Are those all? What I forgot was what cars we had down here. And how many tier 1 flat cars do we have? Yeah, see, we had this. All we did the last time was this 2 and 6. All right, so it kind of means we have an extra 6 of these cars. All right, that I don't know if we'll use. Well, there we go. See, we had the steel pipes going over to. That was for the steel pipes going over to there. And I think I'd like to even get those out of there from behind the oil cars. Because then that would give us 5 of the 6 that we would need. I don't think we need an extra 6. What I'm thinking of is we go and spin this guy around, but then we have to get, yeah, maybe we get this, do we build another little ramp? We have these tools boxcars, which we do need to do the tools too, in amongst all of this. So we can't really leave this guy on here. I think he's probably too long to leave him in a bypass. Like our bypasses down here aren't that long. I'm kind of curious to see how he just makes it around this whole loop. Could we? Well, we really kind of have the. We could probably make the bypasses a little bit longer. And again, we could always have to just turn around out at the all-way intersection out there. We have to flip the flipper, so I can't keep going. So I'll have to stop there. And so what I'm thinking of doing, because we have enough money, is going to get another train that could help us in this whole operation, or we'll find some job for it, depending on how it does. And I was looking a little bit earlier. I don't know that any of the trains come particularly well recommended, and maybe this is a mistake because I haven't looked into it enough. You know, we could stop. Maybe I'll put water in it at some point here before we get going again. So if we get another train, and I forget which one it's called, it's the lowest tier besides the Betsy's there. I think we'll just see if we can make that our pipes train, right? Where, because if we run pipes around, we really don't need that much. Maybe we rub the pipes in oil, you know, combination that we have over there. Let me try to stop for this. Is that going to be in the way of the next? No, I don't think he'll stick out. But the flipper's up here, so. These markers aren't for this. These are the markers are for that where we drop stuff off. Pretty close. Oh yeah, right there. Though I don't know if we're going to get another train by him, but we'll see. All right, so what we have here is 5 of these cars, and I think I would like to get. I don't see us pulling that much more lumber down here. I don't think it's needed because we already got over 50, right? So that's, in general, I think, you know, lots of 100 sort of make some sense because things can come down here. So, or because a lot of the storages are 100, like we got 100 here and 100 there. But the problem with going over 100 is, like with this, even this 54, is that you aren't always going to have the storage for things. But I'd like to pull these 2 cars out. I don't know what we'll do with these. We probably should take them up to the Grand Rail siding and then get these other 2 cars out from, or 3 cars out from behind here. So that means we would want at least 1 more of these. So what I'd like to do, let me show you where we're at in the map, down here by the ironworks. I'm going to run up back towards the freight depot, and we're going to, that's not how you get out of menus. And escape doesn't get you back out of that. Gotta hit the M. Right, so I'm going to pause it. I'm going to run up and we're going to go by. Let's go take a look before I even do it. Right, we're going to go by one of those flat cars. So we have 6 down here. Now the question is, yeah, do we want more? What was our thing with the, why do we bring steel pipes? Steel pipes and the crude oil could work out if you had 3 crude oil and 4. Yeah, maybe we just go and leave. Maybe we'll go get a couple extra of these. They're only $300, but let's go look at the train I wanted to buy. I mentioned that while we were driving down here. So we're going to try to just get this climax. I don't think it's going to be that great. It's probably going to be slow, but I'm kind of okay with that. We can, like I said, find a place for it. Even if it just does 1 run, I'd like to give it a shot, right? Since we have it, it's $5,600. So I guess I can just go ahead and order it. Well, no, let me go up there because I want to, well, yeah, let me just head up there. I'll meet you back there. But what I'm thinking now is actually a little different. Just because we're wealthy enough. If we filled those up, 12, that would be 36, right? 12 in each of those. And then we would have 4 of these, would be 9 pipes on each. We could take a train up there that had 4. And then we wouldn't have to mess with this one. The only issue I have is these are really in my way for what I would want to do. We have a lot of room back here, so I could make it so we can build a train. But we kind of need a little bit more room that these things are taking up. So let's go buy this train, get it back down here. We'll see what we do with these flat cars, and then we'll go from there. For those of you who are wondering, within seconds of me saying what I just said, I realized I could hit the respawn button. We probably didn't need that pause at all, but so here we are. We are ready to go with purchasing. Literally 2 seconds in the video later and 2 seconds in real life. Let's come up here and think about, well, we could do 1 flat car. All right, and then let's do the locomotive. Oops, what's going on there? There we go. Got the mouse back. All right, so we're going to get ourselves a climax and see how good or bad it is. One thing about the internet, you can count on it all you want for people's reviews. It's just, good luck with that, right? All right, so let's take a look and see how we're doing. We have no heat. Our water is going up miraculously, so I guess is that a function of... I guess that's a function of... let's step back a little bit. Oh, yeah, look how this one's kind of completely different. They got the firewood stacked up to the roof. Yeah, so our water is slowly... I don't want to mess with the water going up. If we do something, does that stop the water from going up? All right, well, let's go take a look at what we purchased here. Yeah, so that's... Some people were saying that this is all fixed, and it makes this thing very difficult to get around turns, I think. Very interesting. Still pretty crude looking, right? This is definitely a step backwards, probably in technology and time, but who knows? I mean, different manufacturers could have done things differently. So what do we got with all of this? Is it possible? It's just one thing? That's kind of weird, isn't it? All right, let's come over here and get this ready to go because we're going to get a few more cars, right? So that one right there would finish off the train that does the crude oil. Yeah, so let's not worry about how do we get in. There we go. Okay, so 2,000. So I think that's it. That's enough waiting anyway. Now, I have no idea how much this thing holds. Doesn't seem to have a problem taking that much. Let's just throw another one in, see if it takes it. Yeah, let's keep going. Yeah, up to 67. Don't have another log. All right, so 75 seems to be the max on this one. Good to know. Okay, we have no pressure. We do have air brake pressure, so let's turn the pressure on. I'm not sure when. I guess we're going to have to wait till we get up. All right, so now this time I'm going to pause it till our water temperature comes up. There we go. We got a little bit of boiler pressure anyway. So let's get backing up and see if we can't get it hooked up. I did have a thought as to what I might like to try when we get down there. Come on. You can do it. Caught by it. Oh, look at this thing spinning, and I guess it's got some kind of intermediary gearbox there that... We're just gliding on our own. I have no idea how this, how we handle this train in particular. As far as its idiosyncrasies. Get that turned off. So, we should get 4 more of these. Let's get this guy out of the way. That's the wrong way to get in the train. Well, we're moving. I think that's interesting. Yeah, that must be some kind of a gearbox or... I see. It's almost like 8-wheel drive is what it is. Yeah, look at that thing spinning. No wonder this thing's so slow. That thing's going 100 miles an hour. We hardly feel like we're moving. I don't think we have to pull that far ahead. Our stopping seemed to be pretty good. Yeah. Let's hop out and buy some more of these. So the total, I guess we want is 5, I think. And then what I'm thinking of is we need to bring tools over there. And I think it would be good to bring 2 of these cars over. All right, let's order. Let me order these 2. All right, so if we bring 2 cars over and then two of these steel pipe cars, that would be something we could get dropped off, and then we could come in with the lumber plus 4 more cars, right? So let's see. Anyway, this one, we have a link in here. Let's get a link in this one. Probably turn the brake off of that one. Then we'll put a link in this one. They have made these. We want to leave the brake there. We can take this brake off. This guy's sandwiched in and push him all the way back. So far so good. I mean, obviously we haven't done a whole lot. I don't know where the F thing is for this one. What does it look like? Yeah, we got the same thing on the other side. Kind of a strange way of oh, yeah, we don't want the whistle. Kind of a strange way of doing it with that. Now, one of the reasons I'm using this is because I haven't heard the greatest things about it. And we could give it, you know, we could see how it just runs in general. But then if we use it down in the, like the southern area is relatively flat. I think we may get rid of, or maybe get away with using it in that relatively flat area. If we end up taking it down there, we don't like it for anything else. All right, so let me keep doing this. I think I want to pause for the sake of getting some actual stuff done. And we'll, when I'm down, once I pull out, I will gather up with you guys. We could watch the three. We have to make a 3-point turn, which is a little bit different than I normally do. All right, see you guys in a minute. We're all ready to pull forward. Let's go ahead and give it to her and see what we get. But so far, so good. Nothing very exciting happened. We backed up. A little bit of the funny physics things happened, but that's not the fault of this particular train. So now I know that my... Oh. Well, I hope we get more than that out of it. It's making an awful lot of noise for how fast we're going. We got a gear. Let's put the reverser at 100% anyway. That can't hurt. It's a noise-making machine. I think we can give it more. Well, it's going to be a long trip. I'll see you guys when I get down to the intersection down there. Okay, I decided to cut some things out for the sake of the length of the video. Things are getting... I know it's not too far into it right now, but I wanted to accomplish more stuff. This guy is slower than molasses. And I actually flipped around and spun around the other direction, and now I spun around so I'm facing the right direction again. And that's pretty much what I cut out. It took me a long time to get down here. It felt a lot worse because you're moving so slow. But I also flipped some switches and would like to talk to you about the yard work. And I hope you're not too upset that we cut out a little bit of it. So, as we pull in here, what I would like to do is actually hook up to the train that has the oil cars on it and pull that out enough that I can attach one of the cars that's in the next lane over that has these cars, because we need 6 of these for our pipes, and we could attach the 6th one, maybe, you know, but I could also pull it out and kind of have to reshuffle them anyway. I'll show you what I mean when we get down there. So we'll pull this one car out, or the one train out, I didn't just recheck, but I know I put another link in that last one. So hopefully that link didn't disappear at some point in my travels. But by the way, this is about the top speed. This is how fast you go. So I'm definitely thinking that this guy is going to be relegated to just this task here. I think he actually might be pretty good for it, and I'm kind of curious to see if we can't pull, and would it make sense to pull over a ton of cars. So it really is a short trip, right? If we're going to ever use this train that we just spent $5,600, I don't think we can get a discount. We could delete it. We could park it someplace permanently, but I don't know. It's kind of fun to use the different trains too, even though I'm complaining about it being slow. I think we're going to pass this. I almost left that guy just to make sure. And he could pull further forward. He's not quite even with the water. So we gotta, if we do this again, we have to be real careful. Let's just see if they hit. I think they're going to miss. Yeah, look at that. Just barely. Alright, so this guy, we could pull him forward, pull him way forward. I think we could do this pretty coordinated. I'm not even worried that I get the logistics 100% right. In this particular case, if we get a good system of backing in and out of here and building this consist, the question is it worth dragging these up here, these cars, right? Or do we bring 18 or as many, beam cars as we can, and then just reconstitute it down here so we can drop things off left and right, So we'll go into this last one. We'll pick up this oil thing because I want the oil tanker to be... I want all these kind of cars to be together. They don't probably have to be, but... And I might even find out that that's not the best way to do it. But we'll go from there if I do, right? This is all part of the learning experience. So hopefully we have one link. Yep, there we go. And only one link. I have no idea how I set the brakes. We'll just check them all. Not that many. Nope, this one's set to. Yeah, see, that's what I wasn't sure if we. I normally set the two end ones, but that one's set too. That was the end one. All right, so we'll pull these forward, and then I'll flip the switch and attach to this one, and we'll pull this one out. Might even set the brake on here while we're here, right? Fire's still doing pretty good. Oh, we don't want to go in reverse. See, this guy might actually be decent for this kind of yard work where you want the torque to be able to pull these things around, but you don't ever want to go so fast. I don't know. I'm looking for the positive here. I think every time I leave positive comments, I get dislikes, or negative comments, I get dislikes, which is kind of funny. Yeah, the creators can still see the dislikes. My attitude about them hasn't changed. It's like, well, you can dislike it. It means nothing to me. But I'm curious as to why someone dislikes it, but what am I supposed to do about it? It's just like a random dislike. It just means nothing. It's not constructive in any way. I think I have to pull past this. I'm looking down there. I think I have to pull a little bit further forward. I think that's good. Right, so now we attach one of these cars to this, just because it's probably as easy to do this, right, than is anything else. Let's link in there. And then we'll back this guy back into where he was. And that will be at least a partial consist, right, to go up to the oil field. We might work on that again at some point, but But at least we'll have the right ratio and it kind of in the right order. Yeah, I really can't see. It's not too far in there. I certainly don't want to be going too fast. There you go. I think I'm hitting it now. All right. Let's go see. All right, I think that was a little bit quicker. So the problem I have now is we do have these extra cars. It would be nice if you could sell them. All right, so we should be able to put a link or a connection right there. Turn off that brake. Pull this guy. Leave that brake on. Yep. Pull back out. And then, so this one, let's see, how does that make sense for... We can hold 100 steel pipes. So we'll have 4 times 9. It's going to be 36. And then we're going to have 36 oil cars, or 36 oil. So yeah, we'll definitely probably want to ramp that up. But I don't think it's... the oil we can pull right through and get. So that's... We can take a lot more oil. Seems like we got the right number of cars behind there. We'll check in a minute. This thing's spinning its butt off. It makes me laugh. If nothing else, I like it because it makes me laugh. Pull past that same place. But see what I mean? Like, you definitely get good torque with this thing. This might actually be very good for, like I said, for this kind of yard work. Not fill it up, but all right, so now we're just going to back in. So all we did there was get these 4 cars, and again, this is a nice ratio. But what I'm thinking of is there's almost no limit to the crude oil. We can drop off 1,000 crude oil, so we might want to have a much longer crude oil train, and then talk about how many more of these we would bring with us. All right, like 100 would have to be 10 cars. Well, no, 99 would be 11 cars. So would we go with 12 cars and then another 9? It would be like 21 car train would get you like the 100 allotment, which would be an awful lot. But we'll see. We might be able to ramp up to it, if nothing else. And then we have to get the lumber down there as well, so that's a whole nother thing. So everything we just did so far has been what I would call extra. This is just getting cars settled. Now we can pick up the final car here, right? We have 5 that we just bought, and we could pick up the 6th one. I think I'll push those other cars further back for now, see if they'll all fit. If these 6 plus those will fit. That'll just... And we can always make that longer. It wouldn't be hard to make it longer. Enough. Since these are going to be in storage for at least a little while, I want to come all the way back here and compress these things so that they don't, so we're ready to pull out. I think it is worth it, though I'm not so sure there's so many issues. I'm actually going to put the brakes on 2 of them. See how that's got a gap in it? You know, get them all compressed as much best we can. Takes a little extra minute, but I think it's worth it. This guy's very responsive. Like, of all the trains, yeah, there we go. So we're just gonna... Should be pretty good within the bounds of what we can do. That should be good enough, but I think I'll spin around here and just set this one as well. Just for the principle of now I'm setting 2 cars just to stop having that problem. Oop. So there should be a link in there, right? We pulled out the right one. And there's a link here for some reason. Let's get rid of that. I don't trust the whole linking thing. There, so that one's ready to go. At least take a 36. We'd have to take 3 trips. And of course, we can always try to, talk about having, I think really, we'll have to see. We'll just have to see how it works out. It's too hard to sit here and do while we're recording a video anyway. So now, the big question is, how do we get over there? We can only drop off 2 things of this. All right, we're going to have all 6 with us. Do we try to do this with 2 separate trains? I think the other thing we should definitely consider doing is getting the rail car or the tool cars hooked up to this, which they can each hold 32. So that's 64 right there. So we have 36 pipes and 64 tools. But if we get those tools dropped off, I think what we could do is actually just take a real short trip over there. Maybe we give this guy a test. Let's just see. This guy's going to kind of slam in there a little bit too hard for my liking, but at least we didn't derail it on that turn. You got to watch. That's a good way to derail it, is too much stress on the turn, like when they run into each other like that. Yeah, so we did have a link there, so we can disconnect this one, and then this one doesn't have... I'm going to just drive this guy all the way back until he's way back in there. But look, we all actually fit right where it is. Well, we'll just leave it alone. Yeah, let's go set that brake on that last car. It should be pretty well smushed. All right, so these guys all fit in there if we want to leave them in. Now, what I think I should do is pull forward and attach to these 2. All right, because I want to get... Yeah, I think what I think I should do is disconnect this one real quick. Let me put the tools on this train first, because then I can disconnect them easier later, if that makes sense. Come on, get up there. There we go. All right, so let's pull forward. And the question is, do we want to just try to take everything over there in one fell swoop? If I went far enough. Yep, just barely. So now we go hook up these guys. I think what I should do is then we'll hook up these. These aren't really far enough back in there. We can always push them further in later. Yeah, this guy's really not bad for this kind of work. I mean, he's very responsive, and I'm curious to see as I get more and more cars hooked up to it if it's good for this. Oh, I didn't really check the link, though I did pull the pins right, so we should be... Yeah, there we go. Oops, where's my ladder? Right here. Get up the ladder pretty quick, don't you? Alright, so that's... from this one. Need to put some more fire in there. This thing does eat up some firewood. Alright, so once we reattach these cars... Once we reattach these cars, we're going to have all the cars... Well, this is going to get us 64, so we don't need to take these back and forth too often. But I want to drop some of these off so that as soon as we start dropping the other stuff off, we can use up the... We could use up the pipes or the beams, whatever else we're dropping off, right? So we want to keep this kind of full. And right now, according to my spreadsheet, we only have 10 tools down there, so... I gotta put the... Everything was going well until he didn't flip the switch. Right? So good, yeah, we're past that. Boy, that was close. Okay, so now, yeah, we just want to go right back into there. Let's make sure we have a link. And before we do that, let's do some more firewood. Matter of fact, my real life firewood probably needs to be checked soon. Do have a wood stove. Oh, wrong way. It can wait till the episode's over, I'm sure it's... So my experience with burning a wood stove is in part of my reason for my attitudes towards how these boilers work, because I kind of know what it takes to run a wood stove for a lot of the part of the winter, right? And again, whether you're heating a house or heating water, I know it's not the same exact thing, but it really kind of is as far as the fire part goes, how the fire works. All right, so we should be able to, well, let's just shove this thing back. Let's at least shove this whole thing in so we could even repark this in there. Let's see how powerful this thing is, because some of those will even have their brakes set. This is where this thing should shine. See that? No problem. It's like it's... See how quick that is to get up to... But now, considering if they nerf the shadow, you can't see the shadow of those others. Okay, will you all fit? We're probably going to take these cars up to the... That's good. Alright, so now... I don't know if that really did anything. Made me feel better that I pushed them back, but I can't really see how far they are. Yeah, we can go back a bit further. But like I said, thinking about it now... Oops. That brake was on. So now we're going to pull that guy out. So now we have all of this. We should be able to back up and load this guy out, right? Yeah, 6 cars. So we can get 6 cars of pipes loaded up. We can get 64 tools loaded up. Two cars. Make sure the right cars come with us. think I have brakes on anybody, but yeah, this thing actually could be interesting. And I'm wondering if we don't... I mean, I could just bring this whole entire train over there. Just pull our cook mogul out of the way. And just see how this guy does pulling all of the cars. What do you think? Good experiment? I need to pull past this one. That's so loud. That's so slow for being so loud. Oh, I love it. That should be plenty. So what I think I could do actually is we could, when I back this guy in, all right, so that guy still needs to stay where he's at. I guess I went a little too far, because I just need that one. So we could pull, I could just leave this whole consist there and then pull this guy forward into here. So I think that's what I'll do, because I'm not going to sit there and load this whole thing, especially those tool cars take forever with 32. And they did apparently fix the collisions that were causing this thing to have to be raised. I didn't test that at all. This is my first time back with tools, so. All right, so let me back in here. I think you guys can picture me getting unloaded, and then we'll see if this guy can handle getting all of this stuff over to the oil field. And we're kind of getting a little long in the tooth on the video, so let me I'll be right back when I get this all loaded up. We are fully loaded. I have 100 tools here. I went around the other side and looked real quick, and we only have 0 coal left, and we only have 4 iron. So this is it. Whatever we have over here is what we have. So we have 96 pipes, which I don't think is overall going to be enough. I think we're going to have to bring some more iron and whatnot down here in order to make our 200 barrels, but that's for another episode, another time. Let's head out here. I did get our fire going again. Yep, we're almost up to full temperature. So let's pull forward. Everything went pretty well. This thing is definitely a bit of a beast when it comes to... It doesn't hesitate at all with what we've got going on here. Which is good, because it's got to have a strong suit, I hope. You know? I certainly don't want to take it on long trips, but to give you an idea, that oil field is so close that when I went out there to flip my switches, because I think we're in pretty good shape for taking everything over there, I literally just ran over to the oil field. Said, by the time I'm all the way here, I might as well just go the rest of the way and flip the switches the way I want them, because I want to pull in the certain way to drop off the tools first. We can hold 100 tools, so we can drop these 64 off. There's already 10 over there. So we'll have 74 tools, so that means as we drop this other stuff off, it'll get used up right away. That way we can keep dropping and not worry about running out of tools. Now eventually tools are a little bit like the lumber, where we're going to end up with more tools than we have pipes. So we're going to have to sell off some of these tools, which could be an argument for buying a few more of these, you know, at least maybe 1, if not 2. Where we could just take 100 tools up there, or each one holds 32, so if we took 96 tools, that might be good enough. But if this works out well, I think this will be really good, because when you think about it, we can send the Cook Mogul up there to resupply our beams, right? We'll go send him up, who's a fast train. We come over here, this guy, Super Torque, and I don't even know that he is Super Torque, could pull all of these trains over. The big question I have right now is, are the tracks up to it? I think this train will handle it. The question I have is really, are my tracks up to, so how many will we have? We have 6 plus 2 is 8. And then that's 18. So we'll be up to 26. All right. So that should be the only thing I need to flip. Yeah, we'll leave this guy. So when this guy comes back in, he can pull right around, leave this guy off here, reload with more pipes and or tools, right? And to kind of be out of the way, we can leave him down there to be in the bypass mode. And then we can go take the beams up to go get more beams. In the meantime, just leaving this guy sit just like he is. The only debate will be, sometimes we're not going to have to bring any more tools over there, right? Because we're bringing over 64 tools, but only 36 of the other things. So we'll just have to see how that works out for us. But if you look, other than the little physics issues, I'll call it, that we get here, this thing is just, it doesn't even know it has these 8 trains. At least, I mean, I know we're all on the flat and all that stuff, but I was pushing stuff up the hill, it's like slopey over there, it didn't care. It just did its thing, So let's see how this goes. This thing is going to be unwieldy as far as trying to unload it goes too, though, so I'm not sure that I'll like it for that reason. We'll have to put a lot more marking. I don't think I'm going to, see how it's, let's get a little bit of brake on. Try to slow everything down slowly so that, because we kind of hit that hard. We might have given it a little bit too much, and I didn't check if I had a link, did I? I hope I did. I did, but not the way I expected. And we're too far away. I was afraid of that. We'll just give it a little bit. I hit that too hard. I could even see the one car jump a little bit. So we'll give that. The best thing you can do to avoid this problem is set more brakes. I don't know how many brakes I have set over here, because when you get these super long trains, I should be setting the brake on this first car now that I think about it, because now it looks like it's attached, but it's not. Here we go. Now it should be attached. So let's go check. Yeah, I must have just hit that really hard. Right, I don't think I ever set that one. As a matter of fact, well, I did better check. I think that's one of the reasons it rolled so easy, is because I didn't check. I didn't set these last ones. Unless you guys remember it and I don't. But since we're in this experimental mode, I just want to make sure that, yeah, no, we didn't. Might have set it if we were going to, I didn't stop the server. And I probably would have forgot anyway. But there we go. This would be our longest train ever. Not a very impressively length trip, but just want to see how this guy does. Because like I said, if this works out particularly well, even if unloading is a bit of a pain, we can make markers like this as one way or the other as far as we need to. Or at least as far as we would need to. This guy a little more wood. He wasn't low anyway, but that's okay. Make sure we make it all the way there. Never missed a beat. Now this is it. This is the excitement. The good thing is we don't have to worry about cleaning the windshield. Is any bugs that would hit the windshield are just going to like bounce off and go on their way. The bugs are probably flying faster than we are anyway. If they knock themselves unconscious is more likely to be the case, you know. And again, you know, when you got the super long train and we're only going this far, look, we're already halfway there. Trains, you know, like, it's going to be like by the time I went on, I might as well run over there and flip the switch. It'll be easier than stopping. Yeah, we're going so slow that, yeah, what can I say? It's just making more noise now, that's it, not going any faster. I mean, if it's going faster or slower as I do that, I can't tell. Like, it just doesn't even know that it's got 26 cars attached on the flat. Now, of course, if you try to do this on a hill, you might have a different story. But I think that's what this is where this would really shine. And again, it's painfully slow, but I don't know how fast can we go anyway. The train's just leaving. It's just on this track. Yeah, that's funny. Alright, so I wanted to go in straight this way because the first thing we get to is the tools. And then as far after that, I might have to back up and go forward a little bit, but we could start dropping off the lumber, but at least we get these tools in there first. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it here. We made some progress. We got, you know, this train. And the thing I like about it is, again, I can just pull right back into there with this little train. Fine, it's not the greatest train in the world by far, but I kind of like it. I think it's nostalgic. I think it's just cool. I do wish it was a little bit faster, but hey, if it's reality or realistically based, then I found a home and a job for it that I'm happy that it can do, right? Let's stop making so much noise. I hope you guys can hear me over the darn thing. I don't want to cause any issues, but I need to put on the brakes pretty hard. Yeah, there we go. But how is our money doing after buying this thing? And are we going to make a lot of it back in a minute here? So 1,000. Yeah, we got down to 1,000. I'd like to open the doors, even though I don't think it's necessary. We'll just do one of these at a time because I don't want to. No, it didn't get me. Yep, count it. Good. So see, there we go. We had 10, so we're going to get these unloaded. Like I said, I think I'm going to unload this. If I have any issues, I'll let you know. But we'll come back in the next episode to see how this whole operation goes and went. And I'll just have to play it by ear between the boredom of just unloading these things. This one's exciting because you can unload so many at once, but the other ones are just a lot of back and forth, and it's going to be taking a lot of time, you know. All right, so I'll do this like I said, and then we'll end the episode here. We'll get this unloaded, and you'll have to stay in deep suspense until tomorrow when we see if we make it all the way around here without any issues, because that's the other side. We got to get through all these turns to get back over there. But at the granny speed that we've got on this thing, I think we're going to be in pretty good shape. Hi, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.